Enemy personnel were found hiding in Novopavlivka and the surrounding area. The coordinates were calculated and relayed to the nearest Russian UAV operator. What happened next happened. Krasnoarmysk direction. A soldier from the Ukrainian armed forces built himself a shelter, but it wasn't strong enough. The Defense Ministry released the first images of soldiers from liberated Krasnoarmysk unfurling the Russian flag.
Это центр Красноармейска. Российская армия его зачистила.
Don't forget to leave your opinion about the video in the comments, subscribe, and like.
A new series of combat operations conducted by operators of the 657th Separate Anti-Tank Division, part of the Eastern Military Group's 29th Army. This time, the focus is primarily on enemy manpower. Dnipropetrovsk region. Soldiers from the 215th Guard Reconnaissance Battalion of the Airborne Forces carried out a delicate operation. The enemy command center was destroyed. It was a clean and professional job that left the enemy no chance. Footage of Russian soldiers' combat operations during the liberation of Krasnoarmysk.
Все, прошел пострел.
Russian soldiers are entering all buildings to secure them and firing inside. The spectacular destruction of a Baba Yaga-type Ukrainian heavy bomber by Russian armed forces UAV operators. An FPV drone caught up with a pickup truck belonging to Ukrainian forces in Krasny Lyman. A Ukrainian soldier spotted a Russian FPV drone unloading supplies from an ATV. The ATV was removed from the map. A unit from the Ukrainian forces hid in a small house but left the door open. A drone entered and caused significant damage. On the other side of the front, the Russian operator slowly approached the Ukrainian armored vehicle. One of the Ukrainian soldiers was watching outside. It happened. UAV operators affiliated with the Vostok UAV Systems Group destroyed numerous M113 armored vehicles belonging to the Ukrainian armed forces in the Zaporizhzhia region. Footage captured by drone operators of the 810th Marine Infantry Brigade identifying Ukrainian armed forces personnel using FPV UAVs and VOGs in forested areas in the Sumy region. In late 2025, an FPV drone operator from Rubicon Center was conducting a road surveillance mission in standby mode. Noticing moving vehicles, the operator decided to take off, but then spotted civilians on the road, an adult and a child. A collision was avoided, and the pilot flew the drone in another direction. In the Dnipropetrovsk region, FPV operators destroyed enemy positions one by one in the fortifications on the outskirts of Ivanovka. An unsuccessful attempt to refuel took place in Borovaya. The vehicle was destroyed directly at the gas station. A vehicle carrying Ukrainian soldiers was destroyed on a forest road. In the evening, a Russian FPV drone tracked the vehicle. Escape was impossible. Follow us on Instagram for more videos. A Russian FPV drone operator destroyed a pickup truck while conducting reconnaissance in free mode, then hit an American-made armored vehicle. The Russians destroyed the Ukrainian soldiers' trenches and shelters, but before that, they sent a message urging the infantry to surrender. The infantry in the trenches did not respond positively. Then, what happened happened. Near Stepnogorsk, a Bat-UMG armored vehicle belonging to the Ukrainian Armed Forces was destroyed by KVN fiber-optic FPV drone attacks. According to the latest information, the enemy garrison in Stepnohirsk is under siege. Russian Air Force pilots are preventing the Ukrainian armed forces from entering the besieged village by burning approaching enemy armored vehicles. Zaporizhzhia direction. The Russian communicator was working on a tower. At that moment, an attack drone of the Ukrainian armed forces arrived. Without thinking, the soldier threw a piece of wood at the drone and successfully knocked it down. The soldier was slightly wounded and received the Courage Award. Russian soldiers videotaped airstrikes on Ukrainian positions.
Это было мощно! Я жару почувствовал.
Что там? Что там?
Все охуенно. Артиллерия четко сработала.
Control of a tank without a crew. It's amazing.
Игорич, дальномер видно марку?
Стас, ты готов? Просто так не стреляй. Я, если что, дам команду, либо когда мы начнем, прям бой завяжется, если вы поймете, что это бой.
Two angles of the same operation. UAV footage and video from the Russian officer's helmet camera. The UAV footage shows the moment of the attack. Russian air and ground troops strike with powerful homemade bombs similar in power to the TM-62.
Выходи, сдавайся! Выходи!
The hiding place of the Ukrainian soldier turns into a pile of bricks.
Есть у вас кто живой? Вау! Есть кто живой? Какой нахуй безоружный? Какого хуя ты, пидор, нахуй стрелял? Выходят. Говорят, без оружия. Где ты? Да, плюс. Иди сюда, Кощей. Орион, я ярый, прием. Какие стволы были?
You see the moment of surrender of a soldier of the Ukrainian armed forces. The soldier is trapped under a pile of rubble.
У него есть станция. Ствол где-то проебал. Вот сейчас завалило. Чё ты, блядь, сразу на сдался, когда тебя просили? Хули ты пиздел, ебать? Ты откуда она? Откуда вот такой?
Покловка.
Нет, часть какая?
46-я.
Ходить сможешь? Давай быстрее, быстрее, блядь!
Туда заходи. Назад, я.
Аккуратно, блядь! Заходи! Пидор ебаный! Сюда, блядь, на колени!
На колени, руки за голову! Пацаны, магазины вам! Что за автоматы были?
Калаши.
Какой калаш?
5,45.
5,45, забирайте, пацаны! Выйди с патрона!
А ты что, один был? Где второй?
Трое было нас.
Мы завалили второго. Я делю тут.
Руки за голову!
Проводить отход. Проводить
Небо смотри!
Да, плюс.
Забрал я бы!
О, заебись. Орион, есть... Орион, есть станция, есть телефон.
Контроль его!
Ствола нет. Пароль на ход телефона.
Руку за голову.
Орел. Я не... Попали в плен, начнут расстрелять. Затягивать нельзя. Принял.
Орион, я ярый. Что нам с ним делать? Вопрос.
Ярый, он. Смотря что рассказывает.
Что он нахуй расскажет?
И можешь отработать.
Так, давай по подробностям.
Russian reconnaissance drone operators have spotted the temporary deployment point of the Ukrainian armed forces. Hey, can anyone here understand what this soldier is doing? The fiber optic drone slowly penetrated through the roof with the door open and destroyed the temporary deployment point. The Russian armed forces stormed the bunker of the Ukrainian armed forces and captured 2 Ukrainian soldiers. First, grenades were thrown into the bunker, and then rifles were fired into the bunker. In this way, they surrounded the soldiers in the bunker and forced them to surrender. The Ukrainian soldiers realized that their lives were precious and surrendered because they had no other option. Russian soldiers evacuated the surrendered Ukrainian soldiers from the area safely. If they had any wounds, they treated them. UAV operators of the 14th Independent Guards Brigade of the Vostok Special Forces destroyed an ammunition depot of the Ukrainian armed forces in the village of Otradnoye. Follow us on Instagram for more videos. The Russian military's tactic of destroying Ukrainian bunkers and basements by throwing backpacks with anti-tank mines into them is a method that has been reported in recent urban battles, particularly in Bakhmut, Avdiivka, and Mariupol. This tactic is particularly used in urban warfare and aims to weaken Ukraine's defensive positions. Magazines of anti-tank rockets, such as RPG-7 or RPG-18, are combined with improvised explosive devices to form backpack bombs. Sometimes TM-62 mines or FAB series aircraft bombs are also used in a smaller form. Russian infantrymen throw these backpacks into basements or tunnel entrances where Ukrainian soldiers are hiding. Drones, especially FPV kamikaze drones, are used for targeting. Timed or remote-controlled explosions are carried out. Kharkiv direction. Russian VT-40 drones destroyed 7 vehicles in the same area. Some of the vehicles were moving and some were parked. Attack drones destroyed all these vehicles during reconnaissance. The crews of the vehicles now have to go on foot. The 2 S-1 Gvozdika self-propelled howitzer, which was camouflaged at the same time, was also destroyed by successive drone strikes.